What up, those sexy people? So I am so happy to announce that we are holding auditions for our limited drama series Curtains pilot, which is based on Soul Kittens Cabaret. See the email for submissions. In the wake of a wealthy tycoon's death, a hidden love story ignites a war. The Soul Kittens Cabaret, bequeathed to his secret partner, is under siege from a vengeful family and a looming casino takeover. Bound by sequins, sweat, and a shared survival, 5 women must risk everything to protect the stage that holds their dreams, their dignity, and the truth about the man who loved it as much as he loved them. Now casting Frank Rudder Sr., a towering figure in life and a shadow that still lingers in death. Now casting Tata Burlesque, a vision in sequence and steel, with a gaze that could soothe or slice in the same breath. Tata has survived it all: poverty, gender violence, heartbreak, and the cutthroat world of cabaret. Franklin Frank Rudder Jr., tailored suit, expensive cufflinks, and a smirk that never quite reaches his cold, homophobic, calculating eyes. He is determined to take over the venue. Brandy, a diamond in the rough, cut by ambition and polished by pain. The youngest of Soul Kittens, Brandy carries the kind of beauty and energy that makes the whole room turn when she walks in. Young, naive, and ready, or so she thinks. Bianca, a drop-dead gorgeous chameleon in couture, forever shifting to survive. Every charm, every lie, every half-truth, it is carefully chosen move to protect herself from the emptiness she cannot outrun. Rollo, the middleman with the plan, always counting cash and keeping score. As a club manager and Tata's trusted confidant, Rollo is the one who makes sure that the lights stay on, the music never stops, and that the ladies always stay in line. Holiday, the grande dame of desire, draped in silk and secrets, the self-proclaimed creme de la creme. Holiday wears her years like a badge of honor, proof that women, like fine wine, only get better with time. Well-traveled and ready. Karen Rudder, the perfect wife, betrayed behind closed doors. For years, she suspected her husband's absence was about business, or at worst, a dalliance with one of the dancers. The truth, however, was far more shattering and a secret to be kept forever. Detective Good, the badge is in his pocket, not just another tool in his hustle. On paper, Detective Good is a respected officer of the law, but in reality, he's been on the Rudder family payroll for years and years and will do anything in his power to get them exactly what they want. Sharita, a quiet storm wrapped in resilience. Sharita has lived in the shadow of poverty her entire life, feeling its sting in ways she can never forget. She fought tooth and nail to pull herself up from the wreckage of her circumstances, and Sharita will do anything for her son. Carmen, all curves, confidence, and calculated charm. Known in certain circles as curvaceous Candy, Carmen has made a career out of being unforgettable. Men call her name, and surely she answers, and her voice, impeccable. Truck, all brawn, bravada, and barely contained rage. A former NFL star whose glory days were cut short, Truck traded the stadium lights for the shadowy underworld of vice, building his own empire as the owner of a rival strip club. Mimi Fuqua, the trans wardrobe mistress and head designer whose place in the cabaret was secured through the late Frank Rudder's will. Hello, 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 everybody. Hello, welcome, 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 welcome to another episode of Nights with NICCI. I'm actually live on TikTok. I'm live on Instagram. I'm live on YouTube, of course, WIRF.TV YouTube. If you're watching me on WIRF.TV YouTube, please do me a favor and make sure that you hit the like, the share, and the subscribe button. Hello to my people on TikTok. I normally don't go live on TikTok. This is one of my first times ever going live on TikTok. So we got to show a little bit of love to the TikTok folks. Let me turn this music off. As much as I love my theme song, y'all know I will run that sucker into the ground. You guys, let's talk. Let's talk about some of the things that are going on out here in these entertainment industry streets. First and foremost, I want to say thank you to everyone who, let me give y'all a round of applause right now. Here you go. Boom, bam, boom. Thank you to everyone who subscribed and who has supported our WRF.TV YouTube channel. There's a really interesting clip that I was just watching. I think it's called Showrunner LA. And they were talking about how YouTube now is being viewed by the folks in Hollywood as like the go-to platform. YouTube is more people are watching it at home like they would be watching cable or like they would be watching any other streaming platform. So bravo, let's give YouTube a big round of applause. You guys, I can't wait until I can put my YouTube plaque in the studio. I'm busting my ass all the time to make sure that I do what I'm supposed to do. One thing that I have learned throughout this process, baby, one thing I've learned through this process is they wasn't bullshit when they said you got to work this thing like a day job. I mean, when I tell you, you have really got to, social media is not just, something that people do for recreation or just to show off how nice your outfit is. Social media, if you are an artist or a creative in this industry today and you are not actively involved in social media, then, get into it. I know it's a lot, especially, back in the 90s, it used to be really fly to kind of fly below the radar, right? In the 90s, it was this thing where it was like, I'm going to be low key and not overexposed. Everybody was on their Beyonce, right? You know how Beyonce is like, folks out here in social media doing too much. In the 90s, that was the thing. Another thing in the 90s, I'm sorry, clearing my desktop. Y'all wait till, I'm gonna talk to y'all about, hold on, minimize. Oh no, hold on. I can't see nothing now. You guys, okay, there we go. I don't want to lose my page. I've been writing, okay? I've been writing my ass off. And when I tell you this shit is so good, woo, baby. What up, though, TikTok? When I tell you YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, all of y'all watching out there and watch Lynn, this dramatic pilot is so fucking bomb. And I'm so proud of myself and my team for making the decision. Okay, so here's the thing. Okay, well, first let me finish telling y'all about Hollywood back in the day, and then I'm gonna get into all the stuff about this new series, and we'll get into some hot topics and get your questions ready. I'm ready to answer your questions. If you're watching me on WIRF.TV YouTube channel, please do me a favor and make sure that you hit like, share, and subscribe on your way in. But long and short is, back in the day, we just didn't, wasn't cool to, like, if somebody said something about you, you just kind of like didn't respond to it. You just kind of, it was always when they go low, you go high. We went through artist development training and media training and all this stuff. But these days, because of how quickly things will go, you have to get in front of shit and you have to respond and you have to be in social media. And it is a blessing and a curse, because I do believe that a lot of us may feel overexposed. A lot of y'all may think that we're overexposed because you have just sort of this pick up the phone and call us kind of a relationship, because that's all these phones are, three-way calls and shit, right? But I really do appreciate being able to connect directly with you all. And I'm so grateful to everybody who has been watching the content that we've been putting together on WIRF.TV YouTube channel. And again, going back to the conversation that I posted on my site earlier today, where the gentleman from I believe it was, I think I want to say Showrunners LA is his page. Don't quote me on it. But he was just talking about the fact that YouTube and social media are the waves of the future. It is how people are consuming content, and people are now watching YouTube series and shows in their homes the same way they would be watching it on a Netflix or another streaming platform. So they're setting up a lot of creator resources, making a lot of resources available for us as creatives so that we can set our series up to our content, I'm sorry, on our channels up to run like a series and stuff like that. So you guys, please do me a favor. Thank you, Tay. Tay says you're a legend. I appreciate that. It feels great to be able to do that. So to my point, let me see if I got any questions and stuff up. Oh, I do. Hello, J Rock. I'm 10 minutes late. You're not late. I'm writing a sequel to one of my stage plays and watching you too. Oh my goodness. Multitasking. Don't we love a multitask? Don't we love a multitask? I ain't gonna keep you on here that long though, because me and you both got to get back to writing. What are you using to write? Are you using Final Draft or another software? What's your writing software preferred? I'm curious. Anybody share what your preferred writing software may be? But all that to say, I wanted this long-winded ass explanation of what I heard the guy say about YouTube, because so often as creatives, we get caught up in this space where we feel like we have to wait for a network, or we got to wait for the investors, or we got to wait for the partners to come through before we can do our shit. And, I had that attitude myself for a minute, and when I really thought about how often I actually sit down and watch a program on TV versus catch it on YouTube or on one of the streaming platforms or on my computer, I realized that is absolutely correct and true. Most people are consuming their content through their phones and through their YouTube apps and stuff like that. So I am very excited to launch this channel. For those people who don't quite know what WIRF.tv is, I know I'm talking more specifically to the folks that are watching me here on lovely TikTok. Hey y'all! Thank y'all for welcoming me into the TikTok world. I saw Stephanie Mills just said that she kicked off her TikTok, because again, if you're an artist and a creative, God created these platforms, I believe, for good, as much as people see that there are things that are not so good happening on them. And I'm grateful that I'm able to reach all of you by just the click of a few buttons. That's so dope. And I promise you that the content that you'll be seeing, because, somebody's like, so what is your content about? Because a lot of people have been seeing me post a lot of stuff like, From the Bottom Up, which is a series that I produced with Queen Latifah and Shakim for BET Her, which is an amazing network for women, for us, by us, which is dope. I love it. In fact, I would love for the series to be on BET Her again, because it's just a dope ass series. I'm gonna get into some of y'all's questions, because I know this is supposed to be a live Q&A too. So get your questions ready. But yeah, so I've been posting that content. We have 3 seasons of it, so you guys will be able to watch that as a series, which is why I'm glad YouTube is rolling out these new features that are allowing us to do that and show the stuff as a okay, that's a little better. And show it as a feature. So show the I'm trying to say, show the content in ways that you can binge it. Anyway, all right, let me get into a couple of these questions. When y'all did the song Grapevine, did y'all just start singing it? Or y'all just wrote it? Okay, this is a question from Mari. When we did the song Grapevine, did we just start singing it, or did we write it? Okay, so Grapevine is one of those records. Actually, my sister Andy was in the room with me when I was writing it, and she definitely got credit as a writer on Grapevine. So usually the way I would do things, in the 90s, is a producer. Who did Grapevine? Grapevine was Dave Hall. Yeah, me and Dave Hall did a lot of dope records together. Dave Hall, Gordon Chambers. Oh my God, y'all taking me back. So no, what happened with Grapevine is basically there we go. Basically, we would get the track and the beat or whatever, and then I just kind of would be vibing to the beat and just come up with a melody. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I have a song and I'll come up with the lyrics first and then like create the melody around the lyrics. But other time, like I did that with the song "Loving Me" for the R&B Divas soundtrack, and I see the R&B Divas question. I'm gonna answer that as well. Um, with the song "Loving Me," it was more the lyrics, the lyrical content, and then Belle came in and did the arrangement and finessed it and tweaked it and made it really amazing. Belle Johnson, who's my co-writer on the song "Loving Me," but that was, very personal. It was about finding a place where nothing matters but loving myself and blah blah blah. So that became the title track for R&B Divas. But Grapevine was one of those where I just got the beat, and when you get the beat, you listen to it a bunch of times. I used to drive down Pacific Coast Highway when LA Pacific Coast Highway was doing what it was doing. I don't know if you're in LA right now. I'm not trying to be shady, but there was a time in Los Angeles, California, honey baby boo, where you could just coast. There wasn't all that traffic and congestion. You take the 405, you get to PCH, and I would always put the beat or the track on and just roll out and listen to the music. And I remember, I heard it through it's literally like that, you know what I mean? And then I start to tell the story. So sometimes I'll write the lyrics first, and sometimes I'll hear the beat, and the beat will inspire the lyrics. And that Grapevine was an amazing, incredible, freaking fire ass beat. Dun, 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 dun. Woo! Baby, them 90s beats ain't nothing like them. We got a bunch of really good Brownstone surprises coming for y'all. So stay tuned. We're actually in the lab tomorrow. So I might not do a live tomorrow. That's why I was like, let me go ahead and do this live tonight. So yes. What up, Mr. Dres Hey, baby. So Mr. Dres if you guys, I'm gonna switch from YouTube to Instagram to TikTok. Hi, TikTok. Thank you guys for welcoming me to the TikTok universe. I'm new here. I appreciate y'all. Okay. BET Her should bring back R&B Divas. Okay. So I have asked this question before, and we kind of talked about this a little bit when I mentioned, the repost that I did about YouTube. Honestly, I'm getting to the point where I'm starting to believe that there may be a big enough audience for R&B Divas that we could put the show on YouTube as a members only situation. And I feel like it would do really well. Or not just YouTube, all the platforms that would allow it, but make it really accessible to the people. I think we get really caught. It would be wonderful if we could find a partner and a distributor partner. And of course, naturally, I'm just, 11:11. Y'all, I'm sorry. I can't front. Lord God Jesus, bless me, my family, everybody on this live, their families. Lord, bless the world today. Spread love and peace and not hate and not evil and not darkness. Anybody who is hungry, Lord God, make sure they are fed. Anybody who is homeless, Lord God, make sure they have shelter. Lord God, bless me creatively, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Lord God, help me to continue to maintain me and anybody else who is going through a period of grief and understanding and coping with grief, dear Jesus. Please bless us all, bless our families, bless us with health, wellness, mental health, spiritual health, physical health, dear Lord God. Bless everybody who sees this, everybody in earshot of this live, Lord God. Anybody who is sick, make them well. Anybody who is sad, give them peace, Lord God. Even if we are not happy, Lord God, let us remember to be grateful, Jesus. Bless us, bless our families, bless our loved ones, bless the children. In your mighty name we pray, amen. I'm sorry, y'all. That 11:11 was not coming through here, live or not, baby. And I'm not going to take the moment to do what I be doing every time I see it. But anyway, I forgot where I was because I was so busy praising the Lord. Oh, I was at telling y'all to remember, hello, Jesus, to hit the like, share, and subscribe button at worth.tv YouTube. I don't know how that thing got on my head. Something got on my head on TikTok, y'all. I don't know what it were. I don't know what it were, but it was a little something on my head. I guess that happens all the time. Amen, amen, amen. Okay. So yeah, I would hope that what I was about to say is that I would hope that if there was a network that had real interest in doing R&B Divas, that network would be TV One, because that is where we started. And I believe that is where the show will probably do the most good both ways. You understand what I'm saying? And I love and respect so much what Miss Kathy Hughes and Alfred Liggins have done with TV One. And I love the fact that TV One is a Black owned network. And I just feel like with the radio stations and all of the access that they have, it just feels like it makes sense. However, I do believe that we don't have to wait for anybody. We can do R&B Divas in the digital platforms and in the digital spaces, and it will be global and it will be accessible for everybody. So anyway, okay, J Rock, the actor, says, I'm using Microsoft Word documents. So trust when I get done writing the first draft, I have a lot of proofing. Yep, exactly. So I just went, I do mine in Google Docs or Microsoft Word Docs when I'm writing just to get it out. And then I put it in final draft, so I look professional. When I'm submitting, I'm going to give you guys some more information about how to audition. I'm really excited about discovering new talent. That's one of the reasons why I'm pushing this casting stuff as much as I am, because I'm really excited about discovering and breaking new talent with Curtains. And I'm gonna talk to you guys about what that is about and when we'll, be doing that too. Yeah, I made a protein shake and I put this beetroot ginger, like this ginger and beet, and it just, it ain't it. I'm sorry for smacking in y'all face. I got a bad habit of smacking. I gotta stop doing that, but it ain't it. I'm gonna finish it because I need to, but it ain't it. So any other questions you guys have for me before I get into some long-windedness? Hey, Kissadal, I see you. If you're coming in on WRF.TV YouTube channel, please make sure you hit the like, share, and subscribe button. And what up, though, to my family over there in TikTok land. I feel young and fresh and fly on TikTok. It's like, okay, so I don't know if y'all feel this way or not, but like TikTok is like the trendy, young, like dancey, funsy stuff, right? And then YouTube kind of has a little bit more of an intellectual, you can keep people's attention a little longer. People are a little more tuned in. It's a little more, cerebral. And IG is flossy. And I don't know what the hell going on over there on Twitter since Elon Musk, but I'm leading people alone because I don't want it at all. Dres and Rez asked me, get your questions ready, you guys. I'm answering all of your questions tonight. All of your questions. And then I want to get into a few things. I saw somebody mention Gladys Knight. That's one of the stories that I want to talk to you guys about and get your opinion on that, as well as Wendy Williams. We're going to be talking about that as well. Thank you guys for joining in tonight's with NICCI. Y'all, if I seem a little distracted, it's just like all these little things are popping up on TikTok, and I think I think I should just ignore them because they're a little distracting. And I'm like reading them like, boost your live, get more. And I'm like, y'all tell me on TikTok, should I do it? Let me go to these TikTok questions, you guys. I'm gonna come back to YouTube. Oh my goodness. Hey, TikTok. Okay, y'all. I love it. Okay. Just got the number 2. Okay, wait. Okay. Let me get to a question. I just saw a question. Would you be a part of the cast if it does get picked up? No. That's a great question. No. I have no intention. I might do a cameo here or there. But I definitely don't have any desire to be in the cast of this docuseries, this drama series. So let me talk to you guys. Oh, wait. Let me answer Dres and Rez's question. Did I vocal produce and arrange Grapevine? Abso-freaking-lutely, I did. I did the vocal arrangements. I wrote, and this isn't really about me like trying to be like, I wrote all of Not Brownstone. That's not where I'm coming from, guys. It's crazy because I'm telling the truth, and it just sounds really like pompous, or like I'm like, when I say I created R&B Divas, I say that because some people surprisingly don't know that I created it, and I didn't get treated like the person who created it. So when I'm saying I created this, or I wrote most of the Brownstone stuff, I put the group together, I named the group, I did all of those things. And I don't know, maybe I shouldn't say it. I don't know. What do y'all think? You think maybe I just shouldn't say it? Because it's hard to say it and not have it sound like I'm that's not where I'm coming from. But, people get credit for things all the time. And for some reason, everybody always wants to take credit for the shit that I create. That's why I'm in this mess. Because I'll be like, hell no. To the no, no, no. Hell to the no. Hell to the no. To the no, no, no. You're not going to take my shit. Hell no. Okay, I'll stop. Let me ask another question. We love you, NICCI. I love you too. Prayers for Gladys Knight. Absolutely. We're gonna get into the Gladys Knight thing. Prayers, prayers, prayers. Where was the video for 5 Miles to Empty filmed? I got a lot of Braille questions. I love it. The video for 5 Miles to Empty was filmed in this back alley underground warehouse spot. It was supposed to be like one of those what's the password, like little thing slide open in the big burly boxer, which we have, bouncer. We have one of those in Curtains, by the way. And who produced that video? Oh my God. Somebody really big produced that video and I freaking forgot. Oh my gosh. Somebody big produced it and I forgot who they were, and Lord God forget. Paul, what's Paul's last name? Anyway, I'll remember and I'll come back and I'll tell you guys. But yes, it was filmed in a back alley somewhere. Did the Divas sing at Angie Stone's funeral is another question that I just got. Okay, claim your accomplishments. You should say it. Facts are facts. You should. Oh, wow. Thank you, guys. I like watching you on R&B Divas, and I heard you wrote P-Valley. Okay, yep, I'm going to get into the P-Valley thing because it's people on TikTok want to know, and I'm going to talk to you guys about Curtains because it's all connected. But let me answer this question. Did the Divas sing at Angie's funeral? I think Kiki sang at Angie's funeral. Unfortunately, I could not make it to Angie's funeral because that is, her funeral was during the time that my sister unfortunately went into hospice. And I was there with her full time. And Angie died in March, and my sister also died in March. I think Angie died at the beginning of March, and my sister died March 23rd. So yeah, it was very much a blur. So I don't know what other divas were there. But I know I had been trying to get the divas together for a long time while Angie was alive. I was trying to get the divas alive. I'm sorry, divas alive. I was trying to get the divas to come together. In fact, some of you may have seen, we did Urban One Honors. TV1 did Urban One Honors, and they came to me, and it was really cool. I really appreciate the fact that the TV1 felt like it was important to come to me and get, me involved in this process. And basically they said, hey, listen, we want to do R&B Divas reunion moment on Urban One Honors. Who would you bring to the table? Because, we'd love for you to, and that was dope. And Angie was all the original divas, right? And those who could make it, Shantae performed, Kiki performed, I performed, Angie performed, Monifa performed. It was really beautiful, an amazing reunion moment. And I love that we had a chance to do it because prior to that, and this is a little bit of inside baseball, I have been trying to get R&B Divas to come back together to do, even if we don't do the series, I've been trying to get the cast to come back together for a cause. In fact, if you watch the Diary of a Diva episode on WIRF.TV where Monifa and I had our sit down, which was such a much needed sit down. I know that people, there are always going to be people who are team Monifa, team NICCI, team Selena, team NICCI, team Kiki, team Angie, team, I get it. Team Nene, team Kenya, right? It's just what happens in these reality TV streets, especially when you don't know all of the details, right? When you have this manipulated story, and I'm just going to leave it there. But anyway, I had been trying to get us together because I had known, like many other people, may have known, Angie had been sick. Please hit the like button as you guys come in to WIRF.TV YouTube channel. And the reason we beg you to hit the like button is because that is how the algorithm tells everyone that you are enjoying the content that you are watching. So it would mean the world to me if you would just take some time to hit that like button, because your girl is making sure that I'm showing up and chatting with y'all. And please hit likes on TikTok as well. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate you. But Angie had been sick, and Angie had been dealing with a lot of health struggles for a very long time. And she wanted so badly to be able to do some things that that didn't require her to travel as much. Right before Angie died, Angie almost passed because she became septic and she was in the hospital and she was dealing with heart failure, just all sorts of things. And again, I want to be careful because it's not my story or my business, to share her personal health stuff. But I think she was really transparent. And the reason I shared that is because she did share it on her YouTube channel, that part of it. So I'm only sharing what Angie has already shared. Please make sure you guys hit like, give me some hearts, give me some love, give me some likes. Because y'all not going to get these old Negro spiritual stories from these youngins out here because they ain't been in this business for 31 years like your girl. All my life I had to fight. And I ain't bullshitting. I ain't bull sugar honey iced tea with y'all. All my life I've had to fight in this industry. And it's a damn shame that artists and creatives have to fight as hard as we do. But we gonna keep on fighting because God said. Let's see. Oh my God. Oh my God. Momo. Oh my God. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. You guys, hold on one second. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. God bless you. God bless your family. I'm wrapping my arms around you. I know what it feels like to lose a mom. I lost my mom and my dad 90 days apart. So, I'm so sorry. And I love you. I don't even know you, but we are brothers and sisters in love. And oh my goodness. Okay, I'm going to stop because I'm going to stop. But I just want to, you guys, please pray for Momo 930018, whose mom passed away this morning. God bless you and yours and your family. Woo, Lord God. Oh my God. Okay. Woo, Jesus. Let me get on to some ratchet shit real quick. Yes, R&B Divas get a partner. That's the plan. So you guys, a lot of times, Momo, I'm sorry, I gotta switch gears real quick. I'm not being disrespectful and trying to come off too fast, but if I don't, I'm gonna go down the dark hole. I just lost my sister a couple months ago and Angie and everybody, and it's just a lot. So please don't see this as disrespect. I'm sending you so much love. You guys, please pray for Momo. So R&B Divas, yes, partner, yes. So let's talk. Oh, you lost your grandma. I'm sorry, you guys. Yes. Okay, I'm sorry. Lord God bless all of us. Please, Jesus, because this world needs what the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. What the world needs now is love. Okay, I'm gonna stop. I'm getting emotional singing too. Okay, but anyway, yes, the world needs love. Give us hearts. I need love. Give me likes and pray for everybody. Okay. Yes, I believe that if we could get partners for R&B Divas, that would be incredible. And I believe that it is very, very, very possible for us to do that. I came across some vintage brownstone clips yesterday. Oh, yes. And you guys, hey, Timogen, I love you, brother. How are you? I hope all is well. You guys, please hit like as you're coming into WRF.tv. And hey, sorors. What up, Sigma Gamma Rho? What up, Polo to Don? I see you. I see you. Excited about a lot of things going on in this world right now. So that is the thing. Seek Jesus in this time. You are 100% right. Get right. Seek Jesus. Please and thank you. Thank you, TikTok. I'm feeling y'all. Yes, I would love to have R&B Divas come back. I think R&B Divas coming back would be phenomenal. I think it's possible for us to come back to YouTube. I think that it's possible for us to get partners who understand that, I get the concept that you want to make sure that people tune in. But let me ask y'all this question. I'm going to ask y'all this question. I'm going to take a sip and give y'all a chance to decide whether or not you agree or disagree. Are we tired of all that fighting and shit on reality TV? Dig deep and answer the question honestly. Because if you love a Bad Girls Club moment, or if you love a shady cuss a bitch out, lose your husband, friendships and relationships and all that shit destroyed, if you love that entertainment, then, You ain't got to say it, but if you think it's time for something different, give me some hearts. Is it time for something different? Or am I just an old ass auntie who doesn't understand that people want the ratchet shit? Because, okay, I see hearts. Thank y'all. I appreciate the likes and I appreciate the hearts, because here's the whole gag. I just really don't think that it's getting us anywhere. I think we spent a lot of time. Um, I think we spent a whole lot of time in this housewives loving hip hop, you know, thuggish, ruggish bone hip hop, tits and ass hip hop. Like, I just feel like there's so much missing from our community of entertainers and musicians and personalities. And you know what I mean? Like the thing about comedy is comedy doesn't really turn into that. Like, yeah, you got some comics that's ratchet and some comics, that kind of get in the gutter with it. But like, comedy doesn't do that. Country music doesn't do that. I don't even know that pop music does it. The most pop music is gonna do is become a little soulful, a little R&B-ish. But the only genres that get destroyed by bullshit and toxic, destructive ass narratives is R&B and hip hop and black music and reality TV and black TV shows and things. And I just think that there's a way for us to still be sexy and still be compelling and still be dope as fuck without all of the ratchet shit. And the thing is, I think the reason I got a bad rap on, I know the reason. Please hit like, you guys, WIRF.tv. I know that it kind of feels lightweight, like I'm begging, but I'm doing the work and you ain't really paying for, what do they call it? You're not paying for the game. It's free. All I need you to do is hit like for me, please. But yeah, I'm tired of it. I'm sick of it. And that is the reason I'm doing curtains. I'm gonna talk to you guys about curtains. That is the reason why we're doing this dramatic series. And I'm gonna talk to you how I arrived at the decision and how the team of people who came on board or are coming on board to help me move this train forward. And we're looking for new faces. We're looking for new talent. We're looking for people who have not been overused and underdeveloped. We want developed talent that has been underutilized, not overutilized and underdeveloped talent. Because it's a lot of that shit everywhere you look. Just because you got a lot of followers, you're the main lady and the main guy on the TV show. And I just think that's lazy. And I think that it lacks cultural, ethical, creative, ethics, right? I think you have to have real talent to carry some of these roles that people are carrying and have some of the visibility that people have. So we're just going to build it from the bottom up, just like that first Brownstone album and just like that nonprofit. Okay, speaking of Brownstone, if Brownstone could collaborate with another group, who would you choose? In Vogue, Escape, The Braxtons, Black, 702, Destiny's Child, 4 or 3, TLC, Cut Close. Which group would y'all choose? Oh my God. Now, this is a question for your ass. Now, that's a damn question. If we could do, oh, Jesus. Hold on. Am I missing a group? Why wasn't SWV on the list? Hello? Why wasn't SWV on the list? Oh my gosh. You guys, that's a hard question. I don't know that I can answer that question. If we could do a collaboration with another group, ooh, I'm not gonna say. You're not gonna get me down that rabbit hole. I just know SWV wasn't on that list. I will say that. I'm just gonna say I don't see SWV unless I missed it. Hey NICCI, I need your help telling my story. My friends are oh my God. Okay. Send me a DM. That's a lot. I don't want to get too deep into that. You gotta be careful. Paul Hunter, thank you very much, Timogen. Paul Hunter is the producer, and somebody on TikTok said change of faces. Absolutely. I love the show, and I love how you express your love for the other girls. you show some real love. Thank you so much. You know what's really interesting? I know we kind of all over the place as I get different questions. Somebody said, tell us something interesting about Michael Jackson. I certainly will, but I need y'all to get them likes up before I tell my Michael Jackson interesting story, because I got a really good story with Michael Jackson and it should motivate every one of y'all. But I need y'all to get them likes up. I need y'all to get them hearts up. Pandering like a motherfucker. I need y'all. Unstable connection. No, hold on. What's going on? Hold on. I don't know. I can't. Okay, guys. Um, please hit like, and I'm gonna share my Michael Jackson story with you guys. I mean, it ain't all like that, but it's a good enough story. It's one that I enjoy sharing, and I don't share that often. Tell us about being on MJJ Records and meeting Michael Jackson. Okay, I'm gonna save that one. Let's see what other ones are coming up. Jesus have mercy, peace, and Lord and comfort. Yes, we're getting a lot of prayers. Thank you for praying for Roberta Flack. Yes, we did lose Roberta Flack and Angie Stone in the same. Man, it's just too much. What's tea, Big Meech? You guys, what's up, baby? I see you. I got to get Big Meech on the show, you guys. Big Meech has been one of my friends forever, and he's so fucking real and so incredible. So yeah, I always hang around really amazing people. Hey, Pam, I see you. People definitely show their trauma on television for the world to see. 100%. People are tired. I think people are getting tired of it. And the thing is, I think that it's just really cheap to create drama and watch people fight. I think it's just lowbrow, you know, um, low hanging fruit. And I think that when you're not really talented, um, I think you end up going for that low hanging fruit. And I think that a lot of producers, have done that. Episode 1 of R&B Divas LA was my all-time favorite because we got to see all the ladies doing their thing at Savoy. We really actually got to see the divas singing, working, and cheering each other on. Yeah, you guys, a lot of y'all might not be aware of this, but R&B Divas all came together. Kelly Price and Faith did this thing called For the Love of R&B in LA. And excuse me, it was right after Whitney Houston passed. And originally, when we were putting the show together, a lot of people don't know this, but when I was putting the sizzle reel together, and my husband and I did that. Hello, so let's be clear, since everybody told me that I should just be transparent and honest about what we had did. It was me and my husband staying up till wee hours of the morning and putting our resources together to put together the sizzle reel for R&B Divas. And I know a lot of people don't want y'all to know that, and I know a lot of producers are out here taking a lot of credit for shit they didn't do. Every producer on that show was chosen by me and Faith Evans. And I brought Faith on board after the show was cast, pretty much, because we needed an anchor and a superstar. And she was my friend. And she said, if you get this shit together and it makes sense and you're serious about it, then I will consider coming on board anchoring this show. And I brought the folks and we did the sizzle reel, and she was like, okay, I'm in. What else do you need to help make this thing go? And she provided herself and those resources. And I actually met Phil Thornton and Paul through Faith because at the time, they knew each other. So anyway, we and she was polite enough to say, hey, listen, I got this guy, and what do you think if we brought him on board so that we don't have to be, we were still talent, right? So I'll make sure, I tell me I ain't got nothing in my nose. All right, I'm sorry. I had to pause for the nostrils, you feel me? But y'all tell me, we family. Tell Auntie, you need to handle that. And don't be joking around trying to distract me, telling me I got something in my nose if I really don't, because that's childish. But look out for me if in real life I do. Anyway. So R&B Divas, there's no question about where that came from. Everybody knows. And I think the reason I started talking about that when you mentioned what happened in R&B Divas LA is because I also had reached out to many of the women we saw on R&B Divas LA. And that was always a part of it, to showcase us performing live on tour. The only reason why that tour did not happen in season 1 is because we decided after the Whitney Houston situation that we wanted to raise money for the Whitney Houston Academy and do the soundtrack in order to do that. So a lot of behind the scenes stuff that you guys don't know about, that you don't know occurred. And a lot of the times when you saw me in sort of I am that person. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Y'all see, I work my ass off. You will never outwork me. We're going to work the same amount, or I'm going to work more. But you will never outwork my ass. When it comes to this creativity shit, I am a machine, and I love it. And that's the reason why I have to pull myself away from it, because I'm really passionate about creating stories and creating ideas. And I sometimes get into a space. Y'all saw when you watched R&B Divas how focused I was, even with the Cravado thing. There might have been a moment or two I was like, I need y'all to such and such and such. Because when you're in work mode, and I think that's the thing that so many people did not realize, or maybe people realize it and they just didn't give a fuck. But I was a producer as well, and the creator of the show, and working behind the scenes. So many times when there were moments that were captured with me appearing to be bossy or appearing to be, a bitch, it was because I was in work mode. R&B Divas wasn't about having fun for me. R&B Divas was about making sure that this incredible idea with all these dope ass women, this tour that we were talking about putting together, that was a real ancillary opportunity for us to go out and make money, make sure that happened, right? And I started to realize that. And it didn't happen as much in season 1 because the show wasn't as big a hit in season 1. But y'all think about it. And we always get into these freaking R&B Divas conversation. And people, I'm sorry, Kato, that's me. We always get into these R&B Divas conversation. And it don't be because I be bringing the shit up. It's because I do a Q&A and everybody want to know about R&B Divas. So we just going to talk about this shit. How about it? Because that's the highest rated content on the channel anyway. R&B motherfucking Divas. So in season 1, it wasn't this, it became a huge hit. Like after the, week after week after week, it continued to grow. We made history at the network. It was popping. And then that is when the other producers started pushing me out. And it's crazy because y'all don't even realize this. And it happens to people every day in corporate America. It's probably happened to a lot of y'all. People try to co-opt your shit. Oh, I won't, you know what I mean? Even if it's your fashions or your look or your whatever, a lot of people have encountered that. In my case, here I am, this R&B singer who created this show that has done really wonderful. And I got people basically ganging up. Angie Stone broke it all, told me the things that she was told under no uncertain terms. I saw text messages and everything. That's why Angie, my friend in real life. That's why Kiki and Faith are my friends in real life. I thought everybody was my friends in real life until I saw some text messages and some emails that, folks to this day don't even know I synced them. Well, I guess they know I synced something now. They just don't know what I synced, because I'm not out here saying all the things. But it's really foul to me when you create something and you bring your friends to the table and you want to see everybody win. This whole concept of me trying to sabotage a tour. Why the fuck would I try to sabotage a tour for a show I created about us going on tour? I'm going to say it for y'all one more time for the people in back that didn't hear me real good. Why the fuck would I sabotage a tour for a show I created that was about us going on tour? Red light special, aisle number 9. Don't even make sense. But you guys were convinced that that's what I did because of the magic of television and the bullshit that people don't realize. Every reality TV personality on the planet has said to all of you, all of us on multiple occasions that it is some bullshit. And most of what you see on these shows is not real. But we want to believe because we don't like the way somebody talk or over-articulate or over-enunciate. And we don't like the fact that somebody has this attitude like, I created this shit, when they did. And if it was a clothing company or a restaurant or anything else, and the owner of the restaurant was telling the people, hey, listen, this is what I want on the menu. This is what I want our customers to experience when they come in. This is what I such and such and such and such. There would be nothing wrong with that. But because it is me, and I created a hit show, and they're like, the audacity of this bitch with no TV experience thinking that she's going to create a hit show and actually have some control over it. And they did exactly what unfortunately they do with a lot of people who are out here trying to help people. They painted a picture of me as a villain and a person that was trying to destroy. It doesn't even make sense though. If you really put your thinking cap on and use some emotional intelligence in this motherfucker, you will realize it doesn't make sense for me to try to destroy some shit I created. No, I wasn't that I'm going to take my toys and nobody could play with them, because number one, I didn't have the power to do it, because my dumb ass, well, not dumb ass, my young, naive, impressionable ass did not understand I had to have ownership of the IP that I created in order to be able to do that. Like Wendy Williams didn't have ownership of the Wendy Williams IP. So now all these things that are happening with Wendy Williams are happening because she didn't have ownership. Nobody in her family had ownership. There was no real control. They just passed that Instagram with all of them followers down to the next person. And no shade, because I love Sherry Shepherd. That is my girl. Me and Sherry go back to sharing meals at Sizzler on fucking La Brea in Hollywood. Broke. You know what I mean? But I say all that to say the truth is the truth is the truth. And sometimes it comes off in a pompous or like, and it only does that. It really only comes off that way with Black women. Let's talk about it. Because we got a little extra sauce on everything we say. That lip smack thing I just did, that Tamar is the only other person I know that does it as much as I do probably. And the hard T's and the really sharp S's and the pauses and the neck rolling and the straight up at it. Tell you what we thinking and don't hesitate. That's the part that people can't handle. And that is why we get labeled bitches and difficult and all of the things. Okay, let me switch gears from R&B Divas a little bit. I know you say you hate seeing actors and actresses recycled on TV. However, I need Loretta Devine to stay on my TV. Those two. I love Loretta Devine too. I really hate like hell that she was unfortunately a part of a show that infringed on my intellectual property rights. I love when you played Vera Brown and Meet the Brown stage play. That's when I knew you were talented all the way around. Let me tell y'all something. Vera Brown is the most fun I have ever had playing a character. You know what? No, I'm sorry. I also had a lot of fun playing Crayola. Crayola was fun. Purina, I almost got my GED, motherfucker, so you can kiss my... Man, it was so much fun. And my mom and my sisters came. We shot it in Toronto, and I'm from Detroit, so of course I had my family there. It was so much fun. So much fun. I liked all my roles. I like playing Helen on Living Single. Helen Robinson. I played Nurse Shelby on Sister, I want to say. Yeah, I was doing all the 90s sitcoms, guest star roles. But so let me tell you, I'm gonna save the Michael Jackson moment for last, because you can't talk about Michael Jackson and then talk about something else, because Michael Jackson is the king. I'm gonna show. Listen, can y'all see that? My husband painted that. Y'all can't see it on YouTube, but I just showed it to TikTok. My husband painted that. He painted the Bob Marley. And I don't know if y'all see that Diana Ross over my shoulder. Those are all oil paintings painted by Mr. Daniel. So if you like a oil painting by Mr. Daniel, then you follow Southpaw_art, and you can get your art from my incredibly talented husband, who is also the producer on the show, who's probably watching me in this segment promoting his art. Like, will she shut the fuck up? And ask her to do that. They made you and Kelly Price look super mean on the show. I was scared of y'all for a second. Yeah, they did. Here's the thing. I don't even remember the moments when I was mean. And y'all might be like, nah, bitch, you trip. When was I mean to someone? When was I mean? I don't ever recall being mean. I recall being direct. I recall saying what the fuck I got to say. I recall showing up for people. I recall showing up for people's workout DVDs and hiring people to film them DVDs for them. I recall sitting with people when they first got on the show, asking them if they needed a place to stay and they could stay at my house. I recall creating the platform for all of us to win. So give me incidences of me being mean. I want somebody to specifically, and I'm not saying that to be disrespectful, and y'all don't have to do it right now. Matter of fact, you know what? Let's create this. Because I'm curious. I just want to make sure that I'm not being delusional, okay? I was direct. I said what I had to say, but I want somebody, anybody, sing a Black girl song, like from Colored Girls. to point out 3 incidents where I was being mean in R&B Divas. Tell me 3 times in R&B Divas where I was being mean, where I threatened to hurt somebody, where I threatened to fight somebody, where I got up in somebody's face and cussed them out. When did I do that on R&B Divas? I need somebody. I ain't got no money to pay you, but if I had some money to pay somebody, I would like for someone to find a clip of me being mean to anybody on R&B Divas. The one time I said something that was out of order and I apologized for it, and I apologized to the person that I said it to, is I called Angie Stone out of her name when she came into my shop and she said, I heard you got your clothes made in China and you ain't designing these dresses and you aren't making these dresses. Knowing I had just come back from Full Figure Fashion Week and how hard I worked. But then she came back and she said, I'm sorry, NICCI. They told me to come in there and say that about your clothes. And they told me that you knew it was happening. And guess what? I know she wasn't lying, because after we wrapped that scene up, when she came and she sat in my shop and told me that my clothes got designed, you're lying, I heard your clothes, let me see the tag and all that, your clothes in China. First of all, she was attacking my business that I was trying to build, that I poured everything in. When that scene wrapped, I ran outside and she was getting in her car and I was like, Angie, why would you do that? And when I was coming outside, she was like, how I do? Did you like it? How I do? And I was like, what? And she was like, and she'll tell you, Angie will tell you. We had this conversation. She said, how I do. So I knew somebody put her up to it in that moment. And I was like, Angie, why would you do that to me? Why the fuck would you do that to me? You know they're going to use that. You know they're going to put that out there so that embarrasses me and messes up my business. I'm talking to the people that own Lane Bryant, who said that they would talk to me about it the following year because of all the horrible things that came out the week after my Full Figure Fashion Week show, because them motherfuckers wanted to take the show from me and destroy my name and make y'all hate me and think I was an evil, awful person. And they did with a lot of people. And I hate like hell that they did it. I really do. They used the power of editing, the power of telling people lies about things that I said about them and things I said. There was so much lies and manipulation. And every woman on R&B Divas, please make sure y'all hit the like button. Every woman on R&B Divas has said to y'all, they manipulated the situation. They manipulate, not even just in my case. Every woman attached to that franchise has said we were manipulated. Terrible things happen. And people still don't want to believe them. So I want somebody to give me an example of when I was mean. Honestly, I don't remember a moment of you being mean. You was bossy at times, but that's what I'm saying. I will own bossy. I will own bossy. I will own that. But here's the thing. Here goes some more behind the scenes bullshit, right? When we did the baby shower, right? That was sort of the introduction. That the baby shower was the introduction of this mean ass boss bitch version of Nikki Gilbert Daniels on my dead parents. So anybody who tells you anything different, you let them know I put this on my parents who are in heaven right now. On my parents. We're sitting around at that baby shower. And they said, pulled me to the side and said, we need you to go out there and tell them that we need to pull this thing. First of all, let me say this. Okay. First of all, the planning of the baby shower was supposed to be a group effort. So I helped book the venue. If you remember, me and Selena came and visited the venue together. It was very team effort, very us working together as a team. But this is the shit that production does that you guys don't know anything about. So I'm going to tell you guys, because I'm really tired of people just assuming that I have just been mean and bossy and controlling of shit. So first mean, bossy moment, the baby shower, where I'm walking around in that ill-fitting ass purple. The purple dress was terrible. Shouldn't have wore it. Looked like Mama's Family, Medea all in one. It was awful. But when we agreed to do this baby shower for Kiki, everybody was like, I'm going to work together and do it. They're telling Selena basically to not do anything, right? Not, she's just kind of sitting around and blah, 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 blah. the production comes over to me and says, Nikki, we need you to kind of move this thing along. We need you to just go out and just tell everybody. I said, what you're not going to do, and this, again, this part is on my mom and dad. I said, what you're not going to do is make it seem like I'm in here trying to boss people around and control people and tell people what to do. These are grown ass women. I'm not trying to, no, yeah, but we need to, because everybody's kind of lollygag. So just, we need you to just go out there and we need to say, come on, you guys, blah, 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 blah. So those moments were moments that were executed, I'm sorry, not executed, instigated by production, right? Because they want to make it seem like I'm this boss bitch that's telling everybody what to do. These are grown ass women with kids and families. I'm not trying to tell nobody what to do with their lives or what the hell they're doing. What I'm not going to allow you to do is come and get involved in some shit I'm doing. The other part of it is when we talk about, oh, they give you limited live time. Oh, wow. Wait, huh? Hold on, y'all. This thing is, all right. I had to drag a puzzle piece into space on TikTok. The other thing is when we talk about this tour concept, I wasn't coming back in season 2. I was not coming back. But guess what, guys? Talk about somebody who's mean and talk about somebody who doesn't care about the other people and care about her castmates. I wasn't going to come back and see. First of all, okay, look, I'm going to take y'all way back in the time on some Teddy Riley shit. I was initially going to try and be like Mona Scott on this show because I've always wanted to push to be behind the scenes, a producer, a writer, a director, a creator. I wanted to be more in a Mona Scott position here. That was sort of the plan. By the end of season 1, when I realized, I kind of see what they're doing over here with the whole, like, we need you to do this and we need you to say that. The whole, I didn't introduce Selena. I did introduce Selena. I absolutely introduced Selena at Essence. They didn't show y'all that shit though. So it made it seem like I was being shady and I did not introduce her. But I did introduce her at Essence. Why the fuck would I not introduce her? I was forgetting at Soundcheck that we were supposed to introduce people at each time as we all walked off. So they're like, oh, let's make this a moment because NICCI forgot to introduce Selena at the soundcheck and at the rehearsal. Let's make it seem like she intentionally forgot to introduce her in the show. I introduced her, slightly delayed as I was walking off, but I did introduce the lady, but they made the world feel like I was shady and I did not introduce Selena. That's foul. That's bullshit. Then they made it seem like I didn't want to participate in the tour in season 2, which is some more bullshit. Because once again, like Faith said, when we sat down at the table at the end of season 1, Celine said, oh, you know what I think would be great? I think a tour would be great. They said, well, that's the whole point of us coming together for this show because NICCI wanted to do a tour. So then there was the whole, let's make the tour issue between Selena and her team and NICCI and her team a thing, right? Back to me not coming back in season 2. I was not coming back. TV1 and the heads of the network and the heads of Think Factory Media, all of them, the one that don't never come out, came to a meeting, flew me first class. If you don't come back, the show don't come back. What we need you to do, what we need to do in order for there to be a season 2. Because if we don't have you for season 2, there will not be another show. Faith has already left. Other people are threatening to leave, having nothing to do with me. The other person being Kiki, because she was about ready to go after season 1 too. You cannot leave. What do we need to do? I will come back for season 2 is what I told them. But in season 2, because in season 1, my Curvato plus size fashion line that I invested every dollar I made on that show was completely sabotaged due to Angie coming in, well, it was actually season 2 when she did that. But anyway, the BS that happened in the off season where I was on a call with Charm, which is the company that owns all the plus size vendors. And that was when they put that article out saying that NICCI Gilbert is going to be fired from the franchise. Network executives and producers say she is a terror. It was on Radar Online, which is one of the biggest platforms on the planet. She's a terror to work with. She's getting replaced by somebody else. I think they said I was getting replaced by Kelly Price. And imagine you're getting on a call with a company that is about to put your clothing line in all of their plus size stores. And the week that you're supposed to get on this call with them, a Radar Online article comes out that says you're a horrible person to work with behind the scenes. You're a terror. We called TV1. We asked TV1 what they were going to do about this and where this came from. They said they didn't know. They had no idea. TV1 immediately, please hit like as you're coming in to Worth TV, please, and thank you. And please give me hearts on I left and come back and still no P Valley. I'm gonna give you P Valley. I'm gonna go into the P Valley thing. The TikTok folks are trying to hear the P Valley thing. The Instagram and YouTube people tired of P Valley because I talk about it all the time. But anyway, long and short, went to Los Angeles, right? Met with them. I told them that I would come back if they would allow us to do this tour, promote this tour that Faith and I were working on together, and have there be no drama. And then there were a couple people involved behind the scenes that everybody wanted gone. Long story short, I come back. I agree to come back. The very first day of filming, I walk into a setup. The setup that set the tone for the ceiling, for the season, and led to the end of the show, was after I wasn't going to come back in season 2, but I allowed these people to talk me into it and tell me that we are going to be able to do this tour, because that was the whole reason why people think I wasn't participating is the reason that I was coming back to participate, because we had a very huge promoter on board to promote a tour. The production company and them asked if they could get a cut of the tour. Faith and I said no. They said, okay, fine. So I guess the attitude was, not saying for sure this is what it is, I'm just saying that maybe. The attitude was, if we can't get a cut of the tour revenue, then at least we'll be able to get our cut in viewership by creating drama around the tour. Because maybe they were going to get a cut of the tour that Selena and her sister came up with. I don't know. I'm just speculating because I ain't had a real conversation with all the people involved. I do know that Angie Stone told me that they knew flat out that I had a tour lined up that Faith and I were a part of that we were going to announce. And when I walked into Selena's house and I was basically set up for them to say, hey, we got this idea for a tour, that's the reason why I had such a bad attitude, because I'm like, oh, so this is the game we're playing. You know, the whole point was for Faith and I to come and say, hey guys, we got this tour happening. And it's not about, what does it matter who promotes a tour as long as we're on tour? This is business. And that's the problem that people have with me. If I created a show that I created, didn't nobody create the show with me, I created the shit myself, and I had your back when they wanted to bring in bigger name R&B singers. And I said, no, these are the women that did the sizzle reel. These are the women who rode with me through this process and got this show picked up. I'm riding with them. Because there were 2 women in particular that the network was like, we could take or leave them. And I was like, nope, they rolling, they coming. And they're telling their stories, and these are my friends. And they was in Soul Kittens Cabaret, so they gonna be in R&B Divas. Because R&B Divas came from Soul Kittens Cabaret, which a lot of people don't know. So for me to go and meet with the production company and the producers and the network and say, hey, I'll come back for a season 2, and come back in season 2. And the first scene of the season is Selena and her sister announcing a tour, after I told you that's the only reason I'm coming back, because we didn't do it in season 1 because we wanted to honor Whitney Houston and do it. That's business. So I knew from that moment. And then the person who nobody wanted to work with, not just me, no, none of the cast wanted to work with this person. I said, the other condition is that this person brings a negative energy. And it was not a producer that I've ever mentioned or any of you ever know, but he was on the ground. I said, I cannot work with this person. They said, okay, fine. You won't work with him. We'll make sure that he's no longer a part of the show. They put him in charge of the people on the ground. So his get back was, you don't have to see me on the set and production every day, Miss Gilbert, Miss Evans, and anybody else who doesn't want me here, but I get to call the shots from LA. So the manipulation, and trust me, there were other producers that almost got into knockdown, drag out fights with this individual. who was a master at doing love and hip hop style television. And they put him in charge of the people who were on the ground. So people have a whole, I don't like how you were and you were mean. Y'all don't know that they asked my daughter to proposition Kiki's husband. The producers came to my daughter and said, put your hand on Kiki's husband's lap while this lady 9 months pregnant, and rub his leg. And apologize to me. Oh, we were just trying to have a TV moment. That was a bad call. So if you don't know what the hell you talking about, let me say this. If you don't know what the fuck you talking about, then shut the fuck up. Because you don't know what you're talking about. You have no idea the trauma. Listen, at the end of season 2, a gun was pulled on my husband. And y'all expect me to be like warm and fuzzy with that shit? You've ruined my business by having Angie Stone come into my business and say that my clothes that I busted my ass to buy fabric for, make designs for, and do a whole fashion show. You ruined my business. You ruined the call that I have with a company that is going to put my clothing line in Lane Bryant and all these stores. A gun is pulled on my husband, and you ask my daughter to sexually proposition Kiki's husband. And y'all wonder why the fuck I got an attitude on this motherfucker? Fuck out of here. You weren't there. That's what I mean when I say people don't be there. But they always got something to say like they were. Yeah, I'm sorry, I was a little triggered. Let me reel it in. It's just, it really frustrates me when you don't have any idea what the fuck you're talking about. And you're, I don't like her, and she was mean, and you don't know. It's like a battered woman. When I say, excuse me. Oh, say pew pew. Okay, I'm sorry. Thank you. Ooh. Thank you for letting me know that. Thank y'all for letting me know that, because I'm learning the whole, I hope that doesn't demonetize me because I said that. But yeah, a pew pew was pulled on my husband, and production rushed them out of there. You know what I'm saying? Every word I say, every woman on the show don't want nothing to do with the show. So imagine, you just better hope P Valley airs again. We gonna get into why should I just better hope P Valley? P Valley can burn in hell as far as I'm concerned. And tell them I said it, whoever the fuck you are. Yeah. I don't better hope nothing airs. What they better hope, how about this for better hope? Y'all got me on once, and I'm very Detroit in this moment. How about they better hope that the Supreme Court on September 29th, when they go into that closed door conference and they consider my writ of certiorari, they better hope that the Supreme Court does not grant my writ. Because I don't care whether the show comes on or not. What those of you who are so caught up in this P Valley thing, much like those of you who are mad about R&B Divas, right? What you are so passionate about, you wouldn't be if I didn't write it. And what world do we live in where someone's story gets infringed upon and people get mad because they are standing up for themselves about it? Period. Just like people are mad about R&B Divas. I don't create shit to have it destroyed, but I'll be damned. Just like I took R&B Divas to court and now own the trademark for that series. Thank you very much. And if it don't never, well, it's going to get made. Like I said, even if it has to come to YouTube, it's going to get made. But my point is just, what world do we live in where people don't care about people being compensated for things that they created that have made hundreds of millions of dollars for other people? They gave Katori Hall $100 million to produce a show that is substantially similar to mine, and I did not even get the benefit of a trial with an expert report that said, without a doubt, P Valley came from Soul Kittens Cabaret. So be clear. I could give a rat's ass if y'all ever see that shit again. And from the looks and sounds of things, I don't know what world we live in where it takes 3 years for something that is already written and prepared to come out. But I would say that is karma. It is not my fault. So just so we're clear, The only thing I have to do with a hold up on P Valley is God, honey, and karma. And that is what that is. It ain't got shit to do with me having the power or the control to be like, this show's not going to come out. That is God. That is karma. And guess what else it is? It's the same lesson that the fuckers had to learn about R&B Divas. I'm going to say it one more time for the people in the back and the people who really want R&B Divas to come back and the people who really want P Valley to come back. The same fate that R&B Divas has met, I wish upon P Valley until they do right by me. It's been 13 years. And all because people wanted to take something that did not belong to them. That is karma. You cannot take the heart and soul out of anything and expect it to continue to live and thrive. Because God don't like ugly, period. And it took me 11 years to get my trademark back. So who knows? Because P Valley know good and well. And the bottom line is, I do have my own network. It is WIRF.TV YouTube channel. We were in the middle of building our own streaming platform, but unfortunately, I ended up becoming millions of dollars in debt and legal fees fighting for my intellectual property for P Valley. And unfortunately, the judge in the case ordered me as a plaintiff without a jury trial. I mean, fair is fair is fair. If I go before a jury and a jury says, bitch, you're crazy, there's nothing to see here, then I go before a jury and they say there's nothing to see here. But for you to not allow me to go to a jury after I have paid $600,000, $700,000 in legal fees and been in a case since 2020, and for you to just not allow me to my constitutional right to a jury trial because you've decided that there are not enough comparisons when there are 57, it's nothing but power and money. And another C word that I won't say because I don't want nobody. It's enough that we have. So please don't come to me with the P Valley better air or else. Please don't. Please don't, because that's the quickest way. Seriously, as far as I'm concerned, P Valley as a brand can burn in hell until they do right by me. And then they can go do whatever the hell they want to do. But I think the lesson that they're learning outside of karma is, listen, the girl got a first look deal after the success of season 1. She got a first look deal after the success of season 1 and has not produced one thing under that first look deal. That should tell you all that you need to know. There are things that I know about her writing ability. There are things that I know about what was in the original script. Please hit like if you're coming into WIRF.TV YouTube channel, because yes, we're on one tonight. There are things that I know because I was in the deposition. Why are you asking so much about P Valley and what's going on with P Valley? Are you aware that there was a whole sworn deposition with the CEO of Lionsgate, Katori Hall, and Nico, and myself and my expert, that was completely blacked out and completely redacted for no one to see ever? Why are you blocking shit out if what you're saying is the truth? Why are you blocking things out? Why have you not said that bitch is a liar? I wrote this whole thing for my own. We know what happened. And it's interesting because there was a whole article about why I'm a woman, I'm an independent, single creative fighting 2 multi-billion-dollar corporations at least, because it is a publicly traded company. So it's a whole lot of other people and other companies and other folks investing in the company that have a lot. And to not allow me after 5 years to go before a jury and for people to get into my fucking social media and talk to me about the fact that they mad that they can't see tits and ass when my grandson's college education is at stake because the judge ruled for me to pay the defendants millions of dollars in legal fees because I had the audacity to stand up and fight for a fair trial as a creative. Who stands up against a multi-billion-dollar multiple multi-billion-dollar corporations by themselves as an independent grandmother, an artist, for some fucking clout. This video ain't gonna get monetized because I'm cussing too much and I'm saying too many things I probably should not be saying. But I gotta get this shit out because I hate dumb shit and dumb responses. And at this point, it's dumb because we're in the whole Supreme Court about this. And while they thought that the Supreme Court was just gonna toss it out at the front, they didn't even dignify my Supreme Court petition with a response. They didn't even respond to it because they thought that it was going to get thrown out faster than it did. And this is the crazy shit to me. Instead of rallying behind me as a woman of color, probably one of the first R&B singer creatives ever to actually have a petition for a writ of certiorari fighting for creatives and artists all over the world, or at least those in the U.S. under U.S. law, fighting for all of us to level the playing field and have a fair shot. The fact that I actually have a writ of certiorari that is being considered in a closed door conference on the same day that they're considering Ghislaine Maxwell from Jeffrey Epstein's case on September 29th. Instead of getting attention for that and support for that from media and support from that for our community, like, whoa, she might actually help get a law passed that helps level the playing field so creatives, underfunded creatives facing multi-billion-dollar corporations actually have a shot. I get dumbasses coming on my timeline talking about, you're the reason why P-Valley. It's so stupid. And it's a shame because that's the reason why our community is in the situation that it's in right now. You deify the dumb shit and you ostracize and demonize the people who are actually out here trying to do something positive and lift this community. It would be so easy for me to just put on pretty dresses and sing songs and use my God-given gift of performance. This is a long-winded ass lie, but I'm giving it to y'all tonight. It would be so easy for me to acquiesce to the bullshit. It would be so easy for me to pretend like, oh, everything is fine and I'm just waiting for them to give me the next job and all that other shit, like every other coward out here who's afraid to speak up for something real. I'm leveraging everything. We have leveraged our home. We are potentially going to have to file bankruptcy because the judge gave a $1 billion corporation millions of dollars against me, a plaintiff. This is the world we live in. And motherfuckers want to know why I question whether or not there's the possibility that maybe there were things that we didn't hear about in the Tory Lanez case, because the judicial system is not perfect. And some of us sometimes slip through the crack when we should have an opportunity to go, all I've ever asked for is a jury trial. And I may never get a jury trial, but I will tell you this, I will always have the truth and y'all will always know it. And karma don't give a fuck. Karma's going to make sure that the same thing that happened to the last people who tried to bully me out of my shit happens to these people. I wish it all on those motherfuckers. Because here's the gag. I beg these bitches for mercy. When my sister was on her deathbed, I said, please, let me just show up for my sister. I don't care what happens. Please do not enforce this judgment and I'll drop it all. We won't go to the Supreme Court. We won't do. And initially, Lionsgate said yes. And then literally the week before it was going to be too late for me to file my Supreme Court writ, they said, oh, we changed our mind. We're going to take everything the judge told us we could have. Katori said no all along. She was like, fuck her. Lionsgate was initially, they were like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, well, let's talk about it. Let's figure out how we can just put this thing to rest. I was not going to talk about P-Valley, Lionsgate. I was really prepared to take all the shit down. I was like, look, I'm done. All this toxic, destructive shit. The legal system don't give a fuck about creatives. You know, there's nothing I can do anyway. I was willing to walk away from all of this. And then my sister died. And they changed their mind. And that is why I promised my sister I was going all the way. And I did. So whatever the Supreme Court does, whatever the Supreme Court decides, I went all the way. I went as far as you could go. And instead of being met with applause from my community, because I'm actually fighting for something that matters to not just myself, but for any creative that's going up against a Goliath of a company, instead of getting applause and support and encouragement, I get dumb asses talking about how much they want to see a stolen property. Because that's what it is, as far as I'm concerned, and that's what it'll always be, no matter what anyone says. So that is the reason I decided that I'm going to do my series, the same series that I pitched to Lionsgate in the meeting. And they didn't deny that we had the meeting. See, that's the thing, that people who ain't read the case, because it ain't Diddy or R. Kelly or some salacious shit, because it's actually something that could help propel us forward as creatives. For people who have not read the case, they never denied not getting it. They didn't recall specifics, but they never denied it. And to have two shows about a gender fluid club owner in a venue that's going up for sale, or I'm sorry, at risk of being taken because of gentrification in a casino, to have a girl arrive with a red vintage suitcase, the same exact amount of characters and the same beginning, middle, and end, and not feel like that, even after an expert agrees that there's no way you could have P-Valley without Soul Kittens, to not believe that that case deserves a fair trial is absurd. And it is the wrong decision for the courts to have made. And that is why I'm asking the Supreme Court to give me my right to due process, which is my constitutional right as a creative. And that is why I hope that more of my community stops getting caught up in the fact that they don't like me for some shit that they saw on R&B Divas, or some shit that they heard me. I'm standing up for Kelly Price, and that's the problem for people. That is the problem when you try to look out for bitches. And then, but I digress. My point is, at least I'm old enough now where I understand that it's like, forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. At least I'm old enough now where I understand that our people are so tortured by this idea that you can't support people unless they got a lot of money or a lot of fame or a lot of popularity or you like them, right? And we get so caught up in deifying people just because they balling or they look fly or they got this or they got that. And these people keep feeding us these narratives. And now everybody, if you ask any person that's ever been on reality TV, whether or not they regret going on that reality television for one reason or another, you will get 90% of them saying, absolutely, I do. Yeah, it made me popular, but at what cost? Families are destroyed. And when you have those of us who are willing to step up and speak up and stand up for our community, we're always going to be destroyed in the media. And unfortunately, they're going to use our own people as the weapons to destroy us. And it's just really sad. Please hit the like button as you come into Worth.tv YouTube. So yeah, guys, I've made the decision. Ooh, that felt good. I need to get that out. Can y'all tell? I was a little rada and body. But y'all like the dramatic rada and body shit anyway. I be watching people on YouTube. They be screaming and shit. I'm like, damn, should I just be talking like this? Anyway, so I didn't want to do my series because I didn't believe that there would be space for it, because it had already been done. My story had already been told. How are you going to tell a story about a non-binary club owner who owns a venue that's been around, where a homophobic antagonist is coming in trying to take it? How do you tell that story? It's been told. P-Valley told it, but she didn't tell it as good as I'm going to tell it. And I don't have $100 million budget. I'm doing a worldwide talent search, even though I had no budget to fly nobody from here to there. But who knows? We are doing a talent search for really talented people who haven't had a chance to show all of the dope shit that they working with. The soundtrack and the music for Curtains is going to be phenomenal. I had to ask myself, how do I make what they did when they took my idea and turned it into P Valley? How do I make it a competitor? It doesn't necessarily, because there's an audience for P Valley. They like that ratchet titty ass shit. Okay. But I want to broaden the audience a little bit. So I'm intentionally going to be working to change and tweak and maneuver some things here and there so that it is a little different than what I had originally pitched to them. And just so y'all are clear, because a lot of people don't know this, when I went and pitched the Lionsgate and Stars executive, first of all, I was introduced to the executive at Lionsgate and Stars through my attorney. So I felt safe. I felt like my attorney is friends with this executive, and he referred me, and the executive knows that I have the same people who were backing Tyler Perry, who are still working with Tyler Perry to this day, who were willing to put the money up because they put it up for my series From the Bottom Up with Queen Latifah and Shakim, which I pitched the same year that I pitched the licensing and ownership deal to Lionsgate. They were putting the money up, prepared to do a license and distribution deal because I wanted ownership of my show. So I went because my lawyer was friends with the CEO. The CEO took the meeting. He took my script. I was not pitching them a stage play. I was pitching them a dramatic series called Curtains, which is the series I'm casting for right now. The series I left on the desk of the CEO of Lionsgate that he turned into P Valley, or they, whoever, got a hold of it. So you're going to see similarities to P Valley. Lots of them. Because the similarities exist. Even though the judges want you to believe that there are no similarities at all, there's only so many ways you could tell the story of a venue in Detroit that people strip and take their clothes off and perform live, and a gender fluid club owner and an antagonist who's homophobic who's trying to take it over for a casino. It's only so many places you could tell, so many ways you could tell that story, especially as a drama. So it's going to be gritty and sexy, but I had to ask myself, what are the things that I can do as a creative to make this series different? So I got great relationships in music. So I'm calling on some of my dope producer friends and some dope ass musicians that I believe will come to the table and really make the music phenomenal. The cast is going to be triple threat. You got to sing, you got to dance, and you got to act your motherfucking ass off. It is going to be an incredible series. We're shooting the pilot. I want to say we'll be starting the pilot pre-production in October. I am praying we can have it shot by November, but that has a lot to do with the casting. We're going to take a lot of time making sure we cast this thing the right way. So if you can sing, you can dance, you can act, or you know somebody who can, make sure that you tell them to go to my page. I have a description at the beginning of this video and their character descriptions and character breakdowns. I got a separate one on my YouTube channel and also on my Instagram, or you can go to no ego entertainment at Gmail is where you would submit your audition or whatever. But yeah, guys, I'm fighting with a few hands tied behind my back because I'm rebuilding my career literally from the bottom up, like the name of our foundation. Oh, I have to say this, I will be remiss. We are kicking off Creatives Equality Awareness Month in September. September 7th is our first conversation. It's through our nonprofit, FromTheBottomUpFoundation.org. So go to FromTheBottomUpFoundation.org and register for this conversation. You do not want to miss it. It's amazing. I'm sorry, I knew I was going to get into some topics and some other questions and all this other stuff. But your girl always got to fight, and trust me, I don't like it. I'm not even gonna hold you up. I hate the negative energy of the fight. I hate to wake up every day and think I have to still fight for my intellectual property rights. I gotta build awareness for people who think they could just take people's shit. I hate that. I'm a creative. I've been in heaven writing these episodes of Curtains. That's what I do. That's what I do very well. When it comes to creating story and it comes to creating concepts and ideas, baby, that's my shit. Period. That is my shit. God gave me the gift of being able to create great ideas. And it's a shame that I haven't been able to find partners who want to partner with me to turn these ideas into really amazing things, but instead want to take the ideas from me. But isn't that the history of our lives? And that's the reason why I find it so difficult to understand why people don't support causes like this. Because we've always been stolen from. Our inventions, our creations, our dopeness has always been taken from us. We've always been bullied out of our shit. And the crazy thing is, they're taking it from us to sell it back to us. Do y'all understand that? They're taking it from us to sell it back to us. Y'all running around here tooting Katori Hall's horn like she owns P Valley. I don't know for sure, but I would venture to say that she doesn't. She doesn't have the power to say, I'm putting my show out, whether you gonna do it with me or not. Because she doesn't have any ownership. That is what I was meeting with Lionsgate about. Partnering with them the same way they partnered with Tyler Perry for ownership. Co-ownership, not control, just ownership of something I created so I could pass down generational wellness and generational wealth to my family so my grandson don't have to struggle like I did. So I can be present for my sister with brain cancer who passed away. So I could be present for my nieces and nephews, my college nephew that's 4.0 student who got to figure out how to get his meal plan together. The 30-something years that I've invested in this industry should represent something other than struggle and trauma and anger and hostility and disappointment. And it's not just me. And that's what I want all of you out there who are so quick to say somebody clout chasing and somebody lying and somebody just trying to set a person up for failure and whatnot. People steal from people and take ideas all the time. When people are brave enough to stand up for themselves, don't throw them under the bus. Support them. Stand with them. Listen to them. And at least be objective in your opinion of them. Don't beat them down, because it's hard enough when you're being beat down by fucking Goliath. And you shouldn't be beat down by your people. Period. So I know I dropped a lot of F-bombs in tonight's episode, so please put your earmuffs on. I am so grateful for y'all for hanging with me tonight. I am building this platform on YouTube, and I hope that you guys will follow me on YouTube. I hope that you will watch the content. Worth is Women in Reality, Film, TV, and Media. We've been trying to build this streaming platform for a while, but like I said, my hands have been tied. But what we are going to give you is a dramatic series, Curtains, based on Soul Kittens Cabaret. And we're auditioning because we want really talented people to be a part of that. So it's been 2 hours or hour and 40 minutes. Did you say that Tata has to be a good dancer or a singer? Tata Burlesque is the lead in the play. I keep calling it a play. It's a drama series. Tata Burlesque. My YouTube channel is WIRF, Women in Reality Film TV, WIRF.TV YouTube. Or at Worth TV YouTube. I haven't figured out how to put text in the thing, but yeah, I really appreciate you guys watching. And the more that you watch the auditions, if you want to audition, submit your photo, resume, and links to your work to noego entertainment, no ego entertainment at gmail.com. Submissions for all roles. Please go through and look at the character descriptions, and please make sure that you are auditioning for a role where you fit the character. And listen, if you feel froggish and leaping right now, Frank Rudder Sr. and Frank Rudder Jr. and Karen Rudder are white characters. But I mean, who knows? Those characters may become black characters. That's the magic of television and being a creative. I had so much fun hanging out with my TikTok family. I've never done a TikTok like this. Somebody says I have a couple of concepts. If you have concepts or ideas and you want to talk about collaborating with us, we love collaborating with other young creatives. You go to Worth, WIRF media.com, Worth, WIRFmedia.com, and you go to the page where it says collaborate with Worth and initiatives, and there's a whole, like, you can fill out your information, and we will definitely get in touch with you because we're looking to collaborate and partner with other people. So again, real quick, auditions, no ego entertainment at Gmail. If you want to work with us, you got stories and ideas you want to share to put on this platform or other things that we're working with, go to worthmedia.com. And this YouTube channel is, while you get a lot of content from me, if you dig deep and you go in the vault, you'll see that there's our show From the Bottom Up, which is 3 seasons. Our short film Social Conflict is up there. There's some episodes and clips from R&B Divas. What else? It's just a bunch of really cool stuff on the WRF.TV YouTube channel. And we are very interested in sharing other people's content on our channel as well. So did you or didn't you write it? Yeah, I did. Okay, guys. So some Reese says you've been about your business. I've been trying to be, but these people have just really been trying to prevent me from being great. And it has been a fight. You guys have no idea what it feels like to be 5 years into. In July of 2026, it will be 6 years. I found out in July of 2020. It'll be 6 years. No independent creative should be in a war like this for 6 years and be forced to pay someone millions of dollars just because they wanted a fair jury trial. What is the country we're living in when you cannot get a fair trial, when a person is not even denying that they had access? Like they said, even if we had it sitting right next to us, it ain't the same. That's not for a judge to decide. That's not for a lawyer to decide. That is for a jury to decide. 12 people get to hear it, and 7 people get to decide whether or not they believe it. Not a judge, not a lawyer. So for people to listen to the words of the defendant's lawyers and believe those over the words of the plaintiff's lawyers, and believe those over the words of an expert that I paid tens of thousands of dollars and still in debt to just throw it out like it's nothing, like it's trash, and cause my family to have to pay $1 million in legal fees because I had the audacity to stand up for myself because I believed in copyright protection for all people. Please. We gonna fight until we can't fight no motherfucking more. Anyway, guys, thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate y'all for hanging with me tonight. I know it was dramatic and a little over the top, but I needed to get this energy out so that I could go on ahead and be great and finish writing this script. So update on Brownstone. We're in the lab. Go to brownstoneofficial.com. Follow us on Instagram at brownstoneofficial for all of our upcoming dates. Please, you guys, the way you can support is to follow my WIRF.TV YouTube channel. What happened to the original member of Brownstone? They've asked this question a few times, so I'm going to answer it. So Maxie, who is my sister in heaven, passed away. Mimi left the group after the first album because she no longer wanted to be a part of it. Kina left the group because she wanted to go solo. And Tisha left the group because she wanted to go solo. Had nothing to do with me having an attitude or putting anybody out or trying to be a control freak. I've just been the person that's been holding this group together at the seams. And now we have the lineup of all lineups, of course, outside of the original. And we got some shit planned. We got some great stuff coming. So I can't wait to share it. We're actually in the studio tomorrow recording some of it now. So some good stuff coming, you guys. So thank y'all so much. I will come back. Maybe I'll come back. I have a question. Okay, EJ, what's your question real quick? Love me some brownstone. Thank you guys. Please stream brownstone on all platforms. That would be amazing and incredible. Don't forget about Michael Jackson. Okay, that's it. I'm sorry. So the Michael Jackson thing, and then we're gonna wrap this thing up for real. So my Michael Jackson story is actually really, really short and sweet. So I'm done, babe. But don't let me tell the Michael Jackson thing before you let Kato come in here. God, my husband is so crazy. That's his way of telling me to get off the lot. Babe, seriously, that's rude. Let me answer this question. I'm coming off. The Michael Jackson thing. So when we met Michael Jackson, first of all, he's always, I mean, it's Michael Jackson for God's sakes. But I remember we were at we used to have these conferences to promote music and stuff, Jack the Rapper and stuff like that, right? Michael said, I remember saying, he's like, I heard the mix on it, I believe it was If You Love Me. And he was like, it's amazing, and I'm really proud of you guys, and it's a good representation of what we're trying to do with the label or whatever. And I was just like, oh my God. I was like, kind of, he's like, you're okay? I'm like, I'm nervous. I'm like, I don't know really what to say. And he was just like, don't be nervous. I signed you guys because you were great. I signed you guys because you were amazing. Go out and be great. Be amazing. Don't let fear stop you from being amazing. And to hear that from the king, the world's greatest, most popular entertainer, was just incredible and so inspiring. And we took a picture, and he was just like, don't be afraid. And it was just the way he was looking at me when he said it in that moment. Don't have fear. I signed you because you were great. Don't let fear stop you from being great. It's something that plays over in my ear, because how many people can say that they had a moment with, well, first of all, how many people can say they got a record deal with Michael Jackson? But how many people can say they had a moment where, yeah. So that was my Michael Jackson story. I have a few more that I'll share with you guys, but please keep coming to WIRF.TV YouTube channel. Thank you, TikTok. I've had so much fun. Somebody said, how'd you get the role of Vera? Come back on my next live tomorrow if we get out of the studio in time, and I'll talk to you guys about what it was like working with Tyler Perry and Mr. Brown in Meet the Browns. So I'm going to wrap this thing up, you guys. Thank y'all for hanging out. WIRF.TV YouTube. Make sure you hit like, share, and subscribe. God bless you all. Be safe. Peace. Bye, TikTok.